Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your #1 source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
That moment of chaos caught on video changed lives forever. A pickup truck in the Raleigh Christmas parade lost its brakes and ran into a group of dancers in front of it. Tonight, a young girl has died, and WRAL has learned the driver charged in her death was part of the same dance family. It's a story that doesn't get any easier to tell on a day that should have been filled with celebrations and fun, kicking off the holiday season. I'm Julian Grace. Police have not released the name of the child who was killed. We do know she is somewhere in this group photograph taken this morning. Dozens of smiling dancers about to represent CC and Company in the Raleigh Christmas Parade. The driver of the truck also has connections to this same dance group. His name is Landon Glass. He is 20 years old, and a dive into his social media shows that he danced with CC and Company for a time. Social media also shows his interest in modified pickup trucks, often featuring the truck he drove in this morning's parade. In a statement on their own social media, CC and Company asked families to pray and to please refrain from judgment regarding what happened until we know more about what authorities have to say after they finish the investigation. Now, a similar sentiment came from the organizers of the parade, Shop Local Raleigh. WRAL was downtown covering the parade when we saw first hints that something had went wrong.
All right, as we bring you back here on the side of Hillsborough Street right now, we're going to have a bit of a break in the action here because we want to tell you about some situation going on towards the front of the parade here. As one of the floats was rolling off here to get started, there was a brake failure, and there's been an injury.
You can see people in the crowd right there trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Organizers tried to reroute the parade, however, they ended up canceling it at that moment. Hundreds of people lined that part of the parade route when that tragedy happened. WRAL's Amanda Lamb was among them, a former dance mom herself. She started walking toward the commotion, and she shares the stories she heard along the way.
1 minute, spectators were happily watching the annual Raleigh Christmas Parade.
And it was such a happy event, and then it just wasn't all of a sudden.
It was chaos.
All of a sudden, you know, we looked up and we saw a truck kind of go to the other side of the road, kind of coming towards us.
Kind of veering?
Veering towards us, you know, people screaming.
Witnesses say the driver of the white pickup truck pulling the CC and Company dance float was yelling that he had lost his brakes and could not stop. The truck careened into the dancers. Adults hustled them out of the road.
They were able to get most of the girls out of the way, and unfortunately we saw one of the girls, you know, get run over.
What happened?
Worth Creech and his 12-year-old son ran with other bystanders to try and stop the truck. Then Creech ran back to the victim.
You know, she was just laying there, and there were people trying to help her, and there was a lot of blood, unfortunately, and everybody was crying.
The child was rushed to an ambulance, but didn't survive. Crying parents hurried to the scene from the parade route looking for their children.
You know, I was upset, and so I just tried to figure out where she was.
How's everybody doing?
We're okay. We're trying to process what happened because we don't know what happened.
We spoke with Marilee Johnson and her daughter Megan shortly after they were reunited.
Was it kind of just absolutely terrifying when it happened?
We didn't know what the truck was doing because it just came and we didn't know if we were supposed to move or anything. It was, I don't know.
You can tell that young woman was at a loss for words. We spoke with her and her mother at this church down the street from the intersection. That's where all the dancers were reunited with their parents. At the time, they didn't know someone had died here. So many lives impacted by this tragedy. Amanda Lamb, WRAL News, Raleigh.
There's more. Shop Local Raleigh, the group behind the parade, released a statement on social media. It says the organization is struggling with today's tragedy It also echoes the call for the community to pause, saying please refrain from any and all judgment until a full investigation is completed, and instead take time to hug someone you love, send a note, and check in on each other. The intersection where the tragedy happened was closed for more than 7 hours. The truck stayed parked there for most of the day. We saw Raleigh police taking special interest under the hood of the truck. You also can see they examined the undercarriage and tires before it was towed away a little bit before 5:30. We're learning more at this hour about the driver and his connection to the dance company. WRAL's Leslie Moreno is live in downtown Raleigh right now with that piece of the story. Leslie.
Julian, 20-year-old Landon Glass was just released from the Wake County Detention Center about an hour ago. His family was also here waiting for him to be released. We briefly spoke with the father who told us Glass would not be making a statement tonight. He is being charged with the death of a young girl after he lost control of his truck and struck her at today's Raleigh Christmas parade. He was brought here to the Wake County Detention Center where he appeared before the magistrate. He's being charged with the following: misdemeanor death by vehicle, reckless driving to endanger, having a weapon at a parade, failure to reduce speed, and improper brakes. The vehicle was occupied by 3 people and was towing a float with numerous participants. Glass's social media pages indicates that he owned his own vehicle customization company and he spent a lot of time working on his pickup truck. Glass is set to appear in court for the first time this Monday, November 21st. Julian.
Leslie Moreno reporting live for us tonight in Raleigh. Thank you. Raleigh Mayor Mary Ann Baldwin said hearts were heavy in Raleigh today. She issued a statement saying in part, our prayers are with the girl's family, friends, and dancers from CC and Company. The community is here for you as we try to understand and process this shared tragedy. Governor Roy Cooper tweeted his condolences saying, quote, Kristen and I are devastated about the tragedy at today's Raleigh Christmas parade. In a joyous season on what should be a happy day, we instead mourn for this family and their friends as we keep them in our prayers. The tweet is signed RC, indicating the governor sent the tweet himself and not through staff members. As you know, we will continue to follow this investigation overnight and for the days to come. Look for updates any hour on WRAL.com or on the WRAL News app. Family and friends gathered in Roanoke Rapids to remember Sierra Webb. The 25-year-old died in a shooting at a bonfire party in Halifax County. As detectives searched for the shooter, Webb's family gathered to remember her.
Because to look out here and see how many people out here love my baby, that means a lot.
That's the voice of Sierra Webb's mom, and the voice of her dad soon followed.
A good person with a big heart, which is the way we raised her, to talk and be friends with everybody, which is what she did, you know. I didn't realize that she touched as many people as she did.
Earlier this month, shooters fired into a crowd during a bonfire at the Double D Ranch. 6 people were injured, and the one person that died was Sierra.
We was actually going out to the store when we got the call before we even got to the store. A call from one of her friends who was with her said, the minute I heard his voice and him, how he was talking, I knew something was wrong.
In the 25-year-old's honor, family and friends drove around the places she loved. They also held a balloon release. We love you, Sierra! And a toy drive.
It warms my heart. I know my baby's smiling because this is what she would have wanted. So I'm happy that the turnout was the way it was.
You can see the support the Webb family received tonight. Sierra leaves behind a daughter. The Halifax County Sheriff's Office is actively taking tips in this case. If you know something, do not hesitate to call. Coming up, Santa's elves, reindeer, and more. There was no shortage of holiday cheer in Dorothea Dix Park tonight. More than 1,000 people came out for the annual Night of Lights 5K run. You'll hear from those getting into the festive mood. Plus, we'll show you the snowstorm that's taking Buffalo into the record books this weekend. Anthony
Julian, just an incredible storm there in portions of New York. We're tracking a few light showers here as we head into this upcoming week. Will it affect Thanksgiving, though? I'll show you that here in just a few minutes.
And we can't forget about this as we head into the break. Another look at your winning Powerball numbers: 62, 63, 28, 7, 64. Your Powerball is 10. Your Power Play multiplier is 3. Tonight's jackpot is worth an estimated $92 million. Welcome back. You're just in time for this. A new holiday tradition began in Cary tonight. There it is. Crowds celebrated the first ever tree lighting at the square in Fenton. Our very own Deborah Morgan was there to MC the festivities. The mixed-use district opened a few months ago, so it's their very first holiday season. And in Raleigh, about 1,500 runners took part in the Knights of Lights 5K run at Dorothea Dix Park this evening. WRAL is a proud sponsor of the event that supports Healing Transitions of Raleigh. The event began with a short kids run through the lights, followed by the 5K run for the adults.
Oh, it's a great experience. Everybody out here celebrating the holiday season. A lot of camaraderie out there. It's great to be out there amongst the lights. You know, it's a great event. I hope they keep doing it.
So I'm Rudolph with the red nose here, and then we have our Mama Elf. And I'm just a little reindeer.
Okay. Getting everybody involved and just seeing the kids' face light up when all these people are in costume, it's actually kind of fun.
I still can't believe Zach does not have on a coat. Well, the event lasted from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. It sure looked like a lot of fun, as we stated earlier, and those runners braving the chilly weather. I would have had 2 coats on. All right, more than 6 feet of snowfall has been recorded in parts of western New York, where a state of emergency remains in effect. Look at this. The historic snow has shut down travel in the area, with authorities telling everyone in the area to stay off the roads unless absolutely necessary. At least 2 people have died from heart complications while trying to shovel the snow. The National Guard has been sent in to help, however possible, with the storm. And Anthony, it's so difficult to help when you see that snow just coming down. Even first responders have a difficult time getting around.
Well, and that was the interesting thing too, Julian, with this snow, is it wasn't necessarily light and fluffy. You know, some people can just take the leaf blower and blow it away. It was that really heavy snow with temperatures very close to freezing. In fact, you can see just all of that snow. My goodness, it is incredible. Look at those people just braving the streets out there. Thankfully, though, most people, I think, did heed the warning to stay off the roads. That's what officials were saying. But it was just incredible here with that system. They are starting to wind that down, which is good. They have basically tomorrow, and then we really start to taper that coverage off. But let's show you here kind of what's going on across the region, because needless to say, it's going to be a busy week as far as traveling is concerned with Thanksgiving coming up. It is hard to believe we are already getting close to the holidays, but it is certainly that time of year. And for the most part, it has felt like that over the past couple of days. We are quiet, though, here in our part of the country. We do have a few light showers down to the south. South Carolina, that's where they're talking some of those showers at this point. There is a cold front back to the west. You can see it very clearly here, and this is kind of what's going to head in our direction as we head over the next probably couple of hours into our Sunday morning. But let's talk about this snow here just for a second, because look at these totals. 77 inches, over 6 feet, 6 feet 5 inches of snow is what they were talking about here in Orchard Park, New York. That was the heaviest total as of now. I'm sure we'll see a lot more coming out over the next day or so. Just incredible amounts. We've seen that system, like I said, kind of hang in that part of the country, but we also have an upper level system that is bringing our mountains some kind of tumultuous weather, if you will. We have a wind advisory for anywhere from Roanoke, Virginia, down toward Boone, North Carolina, just to the west of Winston-Salem. Wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour. That is saying something here this time of year, especially because of that right there. Drops the wind chills into the teens. Some spots could hit 10 degrees as we head into Sunday morning, and just very, very chilly in that part of our state. We are going to be cold, not quite that cold. We'll be at 34 here in Raleigh, 37 in Goldsboro. Most of us waking up on our Sunday morning in the low to mid 30s. And so like the previous mornings, I would say just leave yourself a little bit of extra time if you're headed out, maybe get some coffee or just to the early church services, things like that. Leave a little bit of extra time, let the car warm up, let your bones warm up for a little bit and just kind of shake out the shivers tomorrow morning. And then we'll rebound a little bit into the afternoon with temperatures still chilly, but we'll be at 46 here on our Sunday, 54 on Monday, 57 on Tuesday. Our normal high for this time of year is 62. We don't really hit that until, coincidentally, we head into our Thanksgiving or even probably Wednesday, Thursday. We'll be at 61 here for our Thanksgiving. And so if you're liking the chill in the atmosphere, the really kind of festive feel to it, I do have some warmer weather, at least relatively warmer weather in the store here for Thanksgiving. Mostly dry though. We're tracking just the chance of a few showers late on our Thursday and then into Friday as well, Black Friday. We should be nice and dry here Monday, Tuesday. We see Wednesday. We should be dry at this point, 6 o'clock Wednesday evening. There is a disturbance though down to our south that kind of starts to work its way in, especially as we head into our Black Friday. So if you have plans here, going out shopping, just hanging out on Black Friday, decompressing from all of the turkey that we're going to be eating. This is when we could be seeing some showers and storms pushing through. And so we'll kind of fine tune that, tweak that forecast as we get closer. I just want to make you aware here as we're looking ahead that that's going to be potentially our next rain chance is late Thanksgiving into the day on Friday. Otherwise, we're tracking those warmer temperatures. We're at 57 on Tuesday, 62 on Wednesday. So certainly feeling a little bit warmer here as we head into the next couple of days. We're at 61 for Thanksgiving, 63 on Friday. And Julian, here even for nights of lights into next weekend, we're at 55, so that'll feel pretty festive, and I don't have any rain in the forecast, so that's good.
Yeah, not a bad week at all to kick off the holiday season at all.
It'll be feeling good.
Thank you, Anthony. Casey will be with us in just a moment to give us more on sports. That said, the live North Carolina Education Lottery will start in 1 minute.
WRAL Sports starts now. Sponsored by Heister Automotive.
Well, this week it wasn't just Drake May should be in the Heisman conversation. He was the conversation, leading college football in touchdown passes. But today, he didn't throw one against Georgia Tech. Now, he can't be Superman every night, right? UNC has their ACC title trip booked. The boy Mac Brown warned about this being that old trap game. First Carolina play from scrimmage, Elijah Green. See you later. 80-yard touchdown run. Boy, he's really taken over this backfield after recovering from an injury earlier in the season. Now Heels up 17-0 at one point, but Georgia Tech scores 21 unanswered. Third-string quarterback late in the game here, though. Heels with a chance to take the lead on fourth down. The reliable Josh Downs drops the potential touchdown catch there. Tech runs the clock out. Pat Welter has more on the trap game of all trap games.
Few things more dangerous in sports than playing a team with nothing to lose.
Congratulations to Georgia Tech. They played better than we did. They coached better than we did, and obviously won the game.
For UNC, it was a week of Heisman and ACC championship talk.
I didn't do a good job. I didn't have them prepared. I thought we were mature enough to play in what would be called a trap game. I thought we were beyond that after Virginia, but we obviously weren't.
The result, a 21-17 loss to Georgia Tech as a 21-point favorite.
I think our whole offense was off. Have a, 75-yard, 60-yard run, call back. You have a drop touchdown pass.
I thought, the guys were locked in, focused, same intensity. I thought we had a good week of practice. Just, one of those games. You just can't let you beat you twice. That's what they say. Can't let one game beat you twice.
I saw Drake May go right over to Josh Downs to console him after the drop, and May said after the game that play will not define Downs. As for May's own feelings, he said his parents had been very supportive. He'd already received a text from his brother Luke and was probably going to call Sam Howell for some advice as well. But he said they can't control what I'm thinking or how I'm playing. It starts with me. Casey, back to you.
Thank you, Pat. Well, it was only supposed to be this guy, Devin Leary, delivering NC State to new heights this season, but boy, NC State, man. Jack Chambers, he was a feel-good story, but he's just not the guy. MJ Morris is going to be the guy. He's the future, but he was out today with an injury, so that left Chambers with the keys to the offense again. But that would only last just a few snaps. And by the end of the game, we would see fourth-string quarterback than Findlay. Let's get you out to Louisville, and that's where we pick it up. Pack trailing 13-3 in this one. Findlay threw for 201 yards, but he would eventually hit running back Michael Allen on the wheel route for 34. It was his first career touchdown, but that would be the only offense for the Pack. 25-10 was the final. State is now 3-4 in ACC play. Final road game for Duke at Pitt this afternoon, and the only thing colder than the temperature in Pittsburgh was Duke's run game. Just 63 yards for the second-ranked rushing offense. Final minute, Duke down 28-20 on 4th and 18. Rylan Leonard finds Jalen Coleman wide open. Devils got to go for 2. The reverse, though, doesn't work. Jordan Moore is brought down in the backfield. 28-26 is how it ends. Carolina Hurricanes at Minnesota Wild. Pyotr Kochetkov in between the pipes, looking for his 6th win as a Cane late in the first period. Marty Necas picks up the loose puck. The team leader in assists. Cross-ice feed to Sebastian Aho, and Fishy buries his 9th of the season for a 1-0 lead. But Wild get the equalizer in the final minutes of play. And for the second game in a row, Canes head to OT, and Alex Goligoski hands Carolina its 2nd straight overtime loss.
All right, we'll get them back. Thanks, Casey, and thanks for joining us tonight. Join us tomorrow morning.